Hey, it's Jason Baker here with Rise Real Estate. I just wanted to wish you. I'm recording this on Wednesday. It's about 9:30 a.m. I don't know when it will go out, just because I'm on just about to hop on an airplane for Thanksgiving travel. But I wanted to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. I hope everything's okay, and I hope you're whatever you wanted to do. I hope you're doing it. Okay. Things are starting to get a little bit dicey out there. We're starting to see the effects of inflation, interest rates, days on market, massive amounts of price reductions, and everything else. I wrote the other night, I was sitting down and I had read an article earlier in the day, and it said, I think it was an Inman or I don't know. But anyway, I read all sorts of stuff. But anyhow, the experts are predicting 600,000 real estate agents are going to leave the industry. Man, I can't tell you, if I had $1 for every time I heard some agent that's been in the business 30 to 40 years, who's still doing business 30 to 40 years ago going snickering, going, that all these people are going to leave the industry, freaking pisses me off. Because realistically, it just bothers me that someone would wish demise on someone else. Right. But anyway, so I wrote the following. The experts are predicting 600,000 real estate agents will leave the industry. Some people welcome this. I don't. Some sure had no chance from the very beginning. No business plan. Auntie Gertrude said she wanted to list her house or go buy a house. And so once you were done with Auntie Gertrude, you thought sitting in the lobby of your real estate brokerage, people were going to just start running in and just salivating, asking for you, even though they have no freaking idea who you are, right? That's called working the floor. You cannot make a business doing that. Any broker who's telling you that, and lots of brokers get this, please stop telling them that. Okay, I can't tell you what to do. Or go ahead and keep doing it, but it just doesn't work. So that's not a business plan, nor should it be in your business plan. That said, here I continue. Some could have had huge futures, just lack systems. Some looked at only split percentage, whether at a brokerage or on a team, as opposed to take-home pay, and therefore did not join a team or a different brokerage. And others yet, and this one bothers me the most, and this is a fact, they were super good in the last 3 years, more as a byproduct of what the market was doing than their actual business plan. But those did great in the last 3 years, are now going to run the same playbook, although nothing in the market, I think we could all agree, is the same. Nothing. You're going to keep so many people I'm seeing. The ones that are going to have the hardest time are the ones that got in the business in the last 3 years because, again, I probably, and this is true for me too, I probably looked at my business plan less over the last 3 years, the last 6 months. You can be sure I'm looking at it every day. But the 2.5 years before that, I probably wasn't looking at it that much because stuff was just rolling, right? I was super guilty of this. I had to self-reflect. So anyway, I write all this stuff because it's stuff I'm either doing wrong, or need to do better. Anyway, they're gonna so backing that up, and the one that bothers me the most, where there was agents that were great or brokers that were great in the last 3 years, and now we're going to run the same playbook as the last 3 years, although nothing in the market is the same. And while they sit around in denial that something's changing, both in their conversations with clients, yeah, the market's still incredible, even though it's really not that incredible. They're gonna go out of business. I'm not happy about it, but it'll happen so slowly that they don't realize it. Okay? So my advice is, and here we go with that, right? Stating the obvious at first, like I always do, and then some tangible stuff we can work on. As fast as possible, forget the last 3 years, please. Start at zero today. Pretend you don't have one pending. Pretend you don't have one listing. Pretend you don't have one buyer you showing property. And fight like you never have before. Change your game plan now. And if you never had one, make one. Do it now. It's going to be too late if we don't do it now. I wrote down some of the following things. And this, again, is there's a lot of team leaders who read this. I'm a team leader, so I write from the perspective of a team leader. Okay. There is safety. I guess I'm also a supervising broker. Clearly, they'll let anyone do that. So, but there is safety in numbers. Okay. Here's what I mean by that. The more contacts you make, the more people that you tell that you're in real estate, the safer you'll be. The more listings you take, the safer you'll be. I'm encouraging my team to not work with buyers anymore if at all possible. Now they will, but I'm encouraging them to look heavily at increasing their listing skills. Why? Because buyers right now are more paranoid than they've ever been that the market's going to drop and they're going to buy something and in 6 months they could buy it for 30% less. I don't believe it'll go down that far, but it could. It has before. Okay? I don't think so. That's not my prediction. My prediction is another 10% from where we are now. I would venture to guess once all the numbers are in, we've gone down 5 to 10% already. Both for a couple reasons. The amount of price reductions before an offer comes in, and also the fact that we're not seeing 100,000 over anymore, right? So we're getting all of these $50,000, $60,000, $75,000 offers under asking, but we've had to come down on asking 2 or 3 times, right, before we even got enough butts through the door to get an offer, right? So you're all experiencing that, I'm sure. So anyway, the more so for brokers or team leaders, the more agents you attract and mentor, the safer you will be. You're gonna, even brokers or team leaders are gonna I'm having to revamp every single thing that I'm doing, both for my consistency and my showing up, my advertising, my outreach, that just in a different way. And I'm going to do another video right after this because I'm going to be traveling called Rehumanizing, and I'll try to send that out in the next couple of days. But I'm going to have the same shirt on, is what I'm saying. Even though I probably always have the same shirt on. I actually have 10 of these shirts, but I guess I like wearing a uniform. That comes from my old Catholic school days. But anyways, the more hours spent on skill development, the safer you'll be. See, skill development time, that's a number. The more hours you spend in 2023 goal setting, the safer you're going to be. Spend more time working on your business plan. I wrote, because I have to joke around, the number of hours spent hunting, the safer you'll be. So you'll be providing food. Although, any of the hunters out there, by the time you figure out what you spend on gas, that new truck, that new four-wheeler, that new gun, that new bow, all of that ammunition, all of the diesel, especially now, and or gas, okay? Dude, you could have just gone and bought out like 32 cows and just had those, right? So I don't want to ever hear that, oh, I'm trying to fill my freezer. Dude, fill it with something that's cheaper. So it's because we like the outdoors. But anyways, I digress. Number 7, the more grateful you are, the safer you'll be. Man, gratitude. You can't be grateful and pissed at the same time. It's impossible. Now, sometimes you're so pissed you can never be grateful. Flip that around. Now, the more you treat this as a real business versus a part-time gig, the safer you'll be. Real estate cannot be part-time. I'm sorry. I mean, you can do whatever you want. It's a free country. I'm just saying, if you want big results, you're going to get part-time or less than part-time results if you work on part-time. But I mean, if you got another job, you have a spouse that works, do whatever you got to do, man. But how are you going to support your family working part-time? No plan. The more the less distractions you have, the safer you'll be. The less drama and energy vampires you allow in your life, the safer you'll be, right? You're the sum of the 5 people you hang around. The faster you respond to your internet leads, if you're getting any, the safer you will be. Number 12 is my favorite. The more pizza you eat, the skinnier you will be. I am crossing my fingers there. So the next thing I wrote down here, because I absolutely don't want, there's so much ego in this business. It's insane. And so sometimes ego will drive you right off a cliff. I know I blew up 4 real estate teams before I got one that, we've had the same, people, admin and agents for the last 2.5, 3 years now. My admin's been with us, I think, coming up on 6, 7 years. So I should actually know that date and send out a card. But the fact of the matter is there's some people that do need a change in scenery because they're slowly going out of business. And so to those people, and again, I don't send these things out as recruitment, but what I wrote to the world was, have you ever actually sit down and looked at your profitability? Okay? because for some people, their personality styles will work better on a team versus trying to figure it out. Also, some people, and we don't operate our brokerage like a brokerage. We operate it solely as a team. So, but the fact is sometimes a different brokerage that offers more, it's not always the split, might be better for you. And of course, that wouldn't be me. We're team only. So if you're not getting what you need, deserve sales training, not forms training. Any monkey can learn forms, right? No offense. But the fact of the matter is there actually a sales system that you're being taught that's different today than there was 3 years ago. So I ask you to do the following exercise as far as your 2023 business planning. Take your 2022 income, if you know it, okay, so far year to date, and deduct every single actual expense. Take your revenue minus your actual. I'm not talking about your fancy car, your lease. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your advertising, your admin, your photography, your all the actual true hard cost to real estate. Take that number and minus this number and draw a line and put it there. That's the first thing you need to do. And you need to figure out what your actual profitability is, okay? And then you need to ask yourself, what are the 5 to 10 things I need to do in order to increase my profitability? So for my team, we spend approximately $45,000 a month on marketing and admin that my agents get to use themselves 100%. Like, I'm not getting something that they're not getting. We all share in the team production. And so I only put my name on my deals that I actually close. I do not put my name so if I hand a buyer deal to my agents, which I do, I think I closed one buyer transaction last year, and I think it was a clerical error. No, I'm just kidding. But I just choose to do listings only, and we sell a few here and there. But the fact of the matter is you have to figure out your actual profitability, your no bullshit profitability. You've got to do that. And if that's less than 50%, right, then you need to potentially consider a team, I believe. Mine or anyone else's all across the state. 90% of the people that get these emails aren't even in the Missoula area, okay? Yeah, I'd love to be up in Kalispell, and I'd love to be in Great Falls, two places I go frequently, and Dillon, Montana, where I also go frequently. But, you have to have the right people in order to do that, and right now I don't. But anyway, so for here, so you have to consider your profitability. Now, you also have to consider quickly your lead sources. One of the things I talked about in my training last week that I did that so many great, powerful agents came to, I was humbled. We had about 15 or 16 people there, which isn't like, I didn't take over the world, but I was able to contribute to 15 or 16 lives, and I loved it. And so for those that were there allowing me to do what I love, thank you. And you can ask them, there wasn't one mention of recruiting or anything like that. That's just my contribution. But consider this. If you made $100,000, okay, and you had $50,000 in expenses, including your cap, your brokerage fees, all that stuff, and then your marketing, and then whatever else, and you're only calling people who you know, or maybe some Zillow leads, let's just say, what if you had no overhead whatsoever and you were able to multiply or increase at a brokerage or on a team or wherever else, you were able to get from the brokerage or from the team 3 or 4 other ways to get business, lead sources, if you will, and you doubled, tripled, or quadrupled the amount of transactions you closed in this or any market. Then what would your take-home pay be? So my advice to everybody in a nutshell is to look at your take-home pay only. You cannot spend a pending commission. You cannot eat a hamburger with a pending commission, and you cannot eat a burger or a pizza with money that didn't come into your actual household, okay? So consider quickly how much that is and then how to multiply that through adding lead gen levers, okay? If you have no idea what a lead gen lever is, please email me. But consider that, right? Consider only your take-home pay and then how you can make that. It also helps reduce the ego. Some people do not want to look at this. I know 4 or 5 years ago, I did not want to look at that. So Anyway, this is my Thanksgiving ramble. I'm going to go hop on an airplane here in an hour, and with my son, my daughter, and my wife Sarah, who still puts up with me after all these years. So God bless you. Happy Thanksgiving. And ask yourself, what changes do I need to make to be great in 2023? If you have any questions, we're going to do another live training in Missoula. The next one we're going to do is on actual team building, how you can build a team yourself in any market, exactly how to scale that. It'll just be, I could talk about that for years, but it'll be a 2-hour seminar on how to build a team. And even if you're just a solo agent, there's going to be lots of tangible stuff that you can work on to help increase your business, okay? But we're going to do some team building stuff. And if there's another, town I should do this in, and you can get, 5, 10, 15 people in a room, let me know, and I'll be glad to come up there. You don't owe me anything. I don't charge anything. But I do like pizza, so you could take me out for dinner. Okay, we'll talk to you soon. Again, blessings. Eat some friggin' apple pie, man. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.